Thanks.
Yeah, you do.
Mine. That's the whole packet. That's got the, yeah. Just one thing, he's not in there yet. We'll see if anybody finds. Hi, John. I was cruising.
Where's the cruise? We haven't gone yet.
Oh,
Leave on the 31st.
where are you going to town? Where?
Just we're flying to Baltimore and taking the ship to the Southern Caribbean.
Well, that's what our friends did last year. Or no, it was the year that hit the bridge, whatever year that was.
We're not going to do that.
She's recording. And just like,
We on?
yeah, we're on.
I didn't hear.
We got that.
Still too early.
Workshop order.
Confirmation proper notice. I was posted a good statutory required.
Roll call.
No, we don't need a lot.
Roll call. Comments. Do the minutes, we'll do that, certificate deposit and earnings.
No, we just invested into, took the money being reserved for the next insurance payment next March and put that in 3 CDs.
Sure.
We'll learn, they'll come due and mature in January. And then since we still have time till the March payment, we'll try and get a 1-month CD. With the 3 we put in now, we'll earn about little over $4,900.
Oh,
So
What percentage?
3 something.
I think 3.9 is better.
In fact, we the shorter term are going higher. Rates are climbing up. So
Yeah.
just now, I don't know that.
We're still on target for about 77 for the year.
Not 77. I don't know where 77 came from. I think that's a typo.
Still.
Yeah, that's
Good money.
Yeah.
See, the next 2 should be September 30th. They won't be August 31st. For the accounts receivable will be September 30th.
Second floor slabs.
Okay. We have a report for that. As you know, we're finishing them up. There's like 3 more that the contractor's doing. So probably report for that.
What is holding that up? Is it a material thing or is it the people?
Holding it, there's been every kind of a mess up you could possibly think of.
Mhm.
Primarily, people had different types of surfaces, and when we removed them, it changed the drain flow, trained the angle, and we've had to go back in and rework the actual drains to take water away.
No, the
Something
pipe's too high.
about it, yeah. So we're down to 4, and those I think it is. I'll have a firm grasp on it, but he's doing it now. We signed the contract 2 weeks ago. We're trying to finish it up and square them away once and for all.
I had 2 owners companies out there.
Rightfully so. Right, we've got it. Any complaint they might have, it's very valid.
I'm sorry, question, don't just come back to the CD preparation. What day do we generally pay the insurance bill?
We paid the bill, well, it's due March 7th.
Okay.
But they've really picked it up on March 7th. The packet's put together, and sometime during the month they come in and pick the check up, usually within a week or so.
All right, just wanna, so I make sure maturity dates.
Yeah.
We've got the money back in the account.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, yeah,
by March 1st is good.
I've done some calculation, however, and believe it or not,
Okay.
well, no, that's right, because we're using operating funds, so
Yeah,
yeah, you'll want to have the money by the 7th.
I'll do it by the 1st, do you say?
By the 1st.
Okay,
I do it by the February.
Yeah.
no, it takes 3 days
Oh, yeah.
to complete the transfer, so. Because if you get
I
a
don't
weekend in
think-
there, yes.
Yeah, somebody said interest.
Electrical.
Okay, electrical, we just found another one. The 219 has been finished. Steve, did they get yours yet? No.
There was no issue there.
Okay.
Everything's fine. They were just.
They were
They're
stealing
over there.
his electricity.
19 is
Yeah.
finished. Okay, but in our rounds yesterday, Steve and I found lines out there that hopefully are not ours. Hopefully Florida Power and Light, they seem to be going from manhole to manhole. Yeah, or handhold to handhold.
Right.
If that's the case, we won't be involved. That means that we're all back together again 100%. The last fix at 219 was much more expensive than it is. It was very extensive. It was $4,400. They've been averaging about $3,000. It's a big dig.
When they were doing 219, they took our manhole, but it's right in our sidewalk. And they didn't, I don't know if they didn't put it right back correctly, but there's a gap like this.
Well, let's take a look at it.
And I've already broken my pelvis once, I want to again,
Well,
because
this-
it's a trip hazard.
Jeff's put those things back together all the time, so did you just give us a work order? Did you give us?
No, I can't get on the website.
Oh, okay, well, we'll get with there today.
Front desk.
Yeah, is that right in front of you? Is it right in front of your unit?
Yeah, it's right on our front sidewalk,
All right, 216.
14, 13, 14.
Yeah.
It's on there.
What's the matter? I can't get in there anyway today.
Is Fuller Power and Light doing 511s right now?
Yeah, there's one over there.
Yeah, that's
They've
the
been there
one we
for
looked at,
2 days.
it's going from one handhold to
Yeah.
another.
Yeah,
It's
they
not
were
going to anybody.
That's
They're back feeding a bad line under the parking lot.
right.
So
That's the only thing that we know that's going right.
that's
Do
not.
you think that was part of the, like a precursor or no, an after effect from the power outage last weekend or last week?
No, that anything's possible. It could have caused it. Don't know why, but it was an external situation. But it was like that could have fed back.
Yeah,
But right now, it doesn't look like the portion of the lines that we're responsible for. It looks like it's a portion of the line that FPL.
good.
Status of security cameras.
Okay, I'll have a proposal for you. We finally got we finally from Novak Technologies. Will explain basically that to encompass this building in a way that quote unquote they would recommend. It's about additional $5,000 expense, primarily because we have 4 channels operating out in the operating field. This would be the 5th channel. Our receivers that or whatever our mechanism is that we pipe everything through and view and record only has 4 channels. You need a minimum of 5 channels to do the office. So I'll have a proposal for you to review in your documents for the meeting.
Did they ever tell you why it took them so long to get a hold of them?
Now he apparently I had numbers that he only I didn't know this. Jim did. He only answered the cell phone and apparently the main office. I don't. The main line was once I got him a snap. There was no problem. It was just a communications issue.
Building painting project.
Underway, almost finished in Pinehurst.
No, they are. 'Cause
Well-
they're doing ours today.
Well, they're moving,
Yeah.
but there's backtracks going in, and there's still a few things to go back. And the final walkthrough on Pinehurst is forthcoming. We've got some wood that has to be re-replaced. We've got some area where the flashing that comes over the building was painted over, so we got to go back and take care of that. But for all intents and purposes, they're just about finished. And for those of you who had a chance to take a look at it, the railings are coming out pretty darn nice.
Yep.
And in general, so far everything's going well.
They're good.
Yeah.
They're-
Yeah.
I got my door this morning because they were taped in.
Well, that's right. I mean, the shutters have been hard to open and things like that, but we'll work through that. John,
I think you answered the question. They're repairing the walls up the stairway
Yeah.
and
we're trying to get everything ahead of it. Yes, we've replaced many stair steps. We've replaced a lot of drive. I don't know if it's fortunate or not, but we had so much damage to the fences
oh yeah.
from the hurricane that were all repaired, that we're not doing as much woodwork this time as we did the last time we painted because we didn't have all the repairs that went through before.
I think they were referring to the siding that seems to
Yeah.
be on the
Siding
places
has to be,
like
yeah, that's one of the places we have to go back to within Pinehurst
that. Do
too.
they do
Well,
that
nine.
when they're painting or will they do that before they paint?
Well, we trying to do it before.
Okay, like it's a separate project. then.
Yeah. Well, we're going ahead of it because, we have someone who is a student carpenter, you might
Mhm.
say, and we're getting many that, at least the stairs and things.
Okay, good, thanks, good. Carport roofs.
Okay, the building committee will be meeting Monday. There's 3 proposals. You wanna expand?
Yeah. The one that we thought we were gonna go with, all of a sudden, he's saying, well, this is extra and that's extra and this is extra. So now we gotta look back, we may go back to one of the other ones,
Yeah, I talked to him this morning again. And he has said, yeah, and of course, there's trusses that have to be added, and I said, Bruce, he said, well, he actually said this. He said, well, the initial proposal I gave you was much lower. And I said, but it sure was lower, but it didn't encompass the project. Everybody else is encompassing the whole project. And he said, yeah. So
he doesn't want to.
he said, well, we could, he said, you know, what we could do, a not to exceed. And I said, that's not the job either. It's, we want it repaired totally, not go back. So I don't know what's, we gotta look at it hard again.
Yeah, he didn't want it.
Wants it, Becky, he calls me, he had a new shoulder put in like 3 days after I did. And he's calling me from the hospital. He wants the job. It's done.
He'd like to talk his way out of it, yeah. Pool security lighting.
Right, pool security lighting, we purchased the posts. Jeff is painting them. We've got the 16-foot 4x4s that are being installed. One at 1 to start with, one at 7 to start with as practice. And fixtures. Best price was Lowe's over the 2 vendors. So we'll be having the posts installed probably next week before anything else. What you got?
He's got some goodies.
To add why we want this stuff done,
It's an audio bridge. So.
this was,
Don't touch it.
Steve, I would move if I were you.
this was
I
all
froze.
found. Yeah, right.
Wow.
Oh, here, anybody need a bra?
Yeah.
And panties. This was all found at pool 1 at 6:30 this morning. And on my phone, I have the empty bottle of shampoo that's right here was all in the hot tub. So we have a foamer this high. Then Jack, after I clean this all up, yeah, here's the soap. And then Jack, when he came on, he actually found a backpack and some
A
other.
razor and a cup with a razor and more soap.
More soap and everything.
This is why we want the security lights. This is why we've asked for all of these things. We have to do something.
Has the gate been repaired? Isn't that the gate?
It has nothing to do.
It has nothing to do
They're
with it.
jumping it.
They're jumping it.
Not only that, Jeff has pictures of who they are. Not from last night,
No.
from before.
Yeah.
And he thinks they're coming from across the road behind the tennis courts in Spring Lakes.
Well, that's what we hear, but nobody's seen the community. I mean, we hear there's a big community behind Spring Lakes tennis courts, but people walked over there and seen nothing, so I don't know where they're going.
Well, I have seen people there during the day.
Yeah,
And I
well,
take the dogs
yeah.
back there. I don't go very far because I have seen people back there that
Well,
don't look
yeah.
right.
What are the Spring Lakes people?
Yeah.
Don't they have somebody who goes around?
So,
No.
oh, good.
And of course, we have called in code enforcement, and we have a case number for the most recent intervention. So, and Steve and I regularly go up and down. People haven't been there in maybe a week because they were rousted out by the sheriff. But the materials and junk and fencing and
That was down to front.
golf carts, not golf carts, but
Shopping cart.
shopping carts and everything else is out there. So code enforcement will remove all that material. It's just a matter of them coming out and
Over
doing it.
here, over there.
Well, the thing is that, we need to do something so that we don't have these people coming all the time.
Well,
I people are calling security. They're only on property a couple of times a night. Either call the office, Jeff will answer right away, and he will get here. And he will probably call the sheriff, but in addition, call 911, call the sheriff's department. They will come, and they know that we will
Prosecute.
trespass.
Yeah.
Prosecute.
I'll speak for Barbara, but she is going to feature on the newsletter, the new newsletter sequence of numbers to call. And we're gonna do a email blast again with the sequence of numbers and where to call.
Yeah,
But
it just,
all
just to-
our number,
Just to, when we discussed it yesterday on what the order of calling should be for trespass, non-emergency, including trespassers.
no, not non-emergency, 911. If somebody is in our property and they shouldn't be here after hours, we call 911, not non-emergency.
That's not what we discussed yesterday.
I
never heard that.
I spoke with
Pam.
Jack this morning.
I've never heard that. I always thought it was non-emergency
I
too.
called Jack this morning and he said, call the office number, Jeff will answer, call 911.
Jack saying that?
Well, maybe we should call 911, find out with the details if we can call them.
Well, when
Well, there's nothing wrong with 911. I just don't want to clog up the line.
When Tammy and I
Sometimes they
went,
don't.
when we went a couple
To the
weeks
sheriff's
ago,
department.
didn't you say call 911?
Okay,
And I also asked, that we cut the bushes to less than 18 inches. It's no longer, we want privacy, we want security. And when people can see, around the courtyards, around the pools, that there are intruders, they can call. Because of the bushes, they're so high, you cannot see at any of the pools. And I know, it's like, oh, we like security. We like the privacy. It's not a privacy thing anymore. We have to protect ourselves.
And I live right there. There's a bunch of us that live right there. Our doors are right facing the pool. And we don't want these people coming near our units.
They know that we have lack of security. That's why they go to pool 7. They don't
Pool
hit,
one.
they don't hit a Wildwood 2's pool. They have better security or they lock it better. I don't know, but they come to ours.
I think they know that there's no accountability. Have we
Right.
ever done anything to these people? Has anybody ever been charged with
yes,
trespassing?
John, what happens is if, when the sheriff comes or our people have detained them until the sheriff comes, they take the names. If they're caught a second time, they're actually hauled away.
Hmm.
But many times you just get in the first timer and then they're smart enough
I
to go somewhere
understand
else.
that. The
Yeah.
thing that we have to do though is have somebody be worried about what's gonna happen to me if I break this law. And right now, I think the majority of say they'll never do anything about it anyway.
Well,
And
if
that's
you
what
do
I've
that, if
heard.
you do that and you do nothing, then you're never gonna solve the problem.
Exactly.
Do something. Call 911.
So what pools are we putting the cans up at?
One
One in
in
seven.
section.
7.
All right. New business, vacation.
No, again, Steve, this was a, original draft. The first thing under new business should be presentation of the budget for review, and so it's not on there because we did a quick thing this morning, I had to pull the wrong one.
Yeah.
So A is a report of the budget committee action, and it's part of your packet that you have this morning, and it'll be part of the management packet, even more so.
Wash your hands.
Barbara, do you wanna talk about the budget, or do you want me to do it here?
You can talk.
All right.
I'll fill in.
All right, this is the meeting by statute that the board accepts the budget committee's report and sends it out to the owners either as is or modified by the board at this meeting coming up. As you know, the budget committee is met July, August, September, even in October, and put this thing together. I think they did a heck of a good job. Each committee chair submitted requests for their sections, the landscaping, buildings, IT. And so it's been comprehensive put together. In general, the operating side has stayed almost flat, if not a little reduction, because very good news on insurance. We were able to not increase it, and it might even come in under what we put in the budget, which is what we paid last year. Our insurance agent met with the committee and we talked about trends. And actually, we took $100,000 out that we thought might be in there. And so that helped lower cost to the owners on the operating side. Also, the new cable contract that's going for the next 4 years after this was at the same level, or actually roughly the same level as last year. So there was no 5% increase there, the owners. So the operating end had come in pretty much the same as last year. It was the consensus of the committee that reserves had to be looked at hard, especially with roofing being the primary driver. As you know, we've been collecting for now 8 years to recoat the roofs. But there's a trend now within the insurance companies to not allow recoating because of age. And so we all started last year to collect for re-roofing. The difference being the coating was roughly $2 million. The replacement of roofing now is up to $7.5 million. And so it's been totally unrealistic not to increase reserves to be prepared. As you know, your neighbors associations have had tremendous increases in special assessments. What, 30,000?
40 on the one.
40 on one.
26 on
Yeah.
Wildwood 2 and 20 on the other Wildwood 2.
With two. And if you really want to hear wild things, my son, who's involved in this type of stuff in South Florida, there was one association that just had a $300,000 per unit assessment to bring it up to standards with the new collapse and things of that nature. So this budget then has increased reserve collections from the owner's part. Last year, the owners put $650,000 in. This year, they'll be putting $950,000 in, and the association hopes to earn a minimum of $50,000 on reserves. So we're putting $1 million in reserves, and that will be a constant. So there will be no radical assessment when something comes due.
Yeah, the owner contribution will be $1 million and the interest will be 50,000. So we're putting $1 million. Yep.
So in your packet, you've got a couple things, and it's for you to review. As I said before, the operating side is going to be flat, if not somewhat less, but the reserve requirement is going up. As Barbara said, $1 million. Also in that packet shows the expenses when it's anticipated over the next 20 years. And finally, I meant to put the split in here, but I don't know if we have it yet. It'll go to you all for your review. Yeah, it's, I guess, page 4 or 5. The average, 2,300s last year paid 1865.40. It'll be 1996.67, which is an increase of about what, $135 a quarter, and it goes down to the 9 paid 1673.11. They'll be paying 1809, roughly the same increases up and down. And if you look at it across the maintenance fee angle, again, deals with operating. The reserves is where the major increase is, cable to be same as last year. Questions?
So at this October meeting, we discussed the budget and then any directions to change anything.
Motion.
What you will do is ultimately make a motion to accept the budget, not adopt.
But that happens at the November meeting.
No, it happens.
You accept it for mailing to the owners at this meeting.
Okay, well, our documents say,
No, it's got to be.
Go to the owners by November.
Whatever the documents say, the state covers it.
okay,
Thank you guys. Thank you, budget committee, whoever's here that's on the budget committee. Appreciate it. Lot of work.
That was. Call one last quick meeting.
It should be regularly scheduled.
yeah, I think we have to agree with that.
Well, yeah, we weren't going to, or we were, and then we said we don't need it, and
We
It worked out.
leave it in
Is there, do you start budget committee meetings in when?
July,
Is there,
because we only hold them once a month, so.
I know, but is there a reason that you don't have like a short one like every month just to keep up with it?
Well, it depends the first meeting is going over the state of the finances and John's input as far as direction,
does it have to go?
what we will need. And then the second meeting is talking about reserves. We focus just on the reserves. The third meeting is focusing on operating. Now, why don't we have it like one every week? It can be a lot
No,
of.
not every week.
Oh, okay.
I mean, throughout the year, if there's a problem.
If I may say,
But
so,
then-
Well, once the budget's approved, there's nothing for the budget committee to do.
No, I know, but to anticipate, maybe.
Well, that's what the first meeting is
well,
about.
on a monthly basis, Barbara, you also report above budget, below budget.
Yeah.
Just
So,
Yeah.
so we look at the
And
trends.
that's part of the first meeting. Yeah.
No, but I'm saying,
Yeah.
every month every
meeting.
month you're putting something out.
Okay,
I mean, a lot of
Good
it
point.
is timing differences
Yeah,
because of the way our bookkeeper just takes our budget and spreads it over 12 months. So I'm always describing a lot of timing differences
Well,
unfortunately.
Truth is that what you're talking about happens every month, all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's exactly what happens, but it's not the budget committee that does it.
Yeah.
so it's not a standing committee, it's a temporary committee?
That's what she does it, we talk about it,
Well, she.
No, it's a committee that needs to put the budget together, right?
Okay,
yeah, the budget committee is just formal.
Alright, what's next? What do you got next on there, John?
Well, communications, there'll be some communications. And then we have an issue that has come up in the Sherwood area of camera usage issues. As you know, we allow doorbell cams for safety and security purposes. And in some instances, this isn't the first time, but we've had instances where owners have added cameras to their unit and for whatever reason. And there have been some neighboring owners that are concerned with that policy. So I was asked to put it on the agenda for general discussion to see if the association and how the association wants to react and what they can do and cannot do, what an owner may be able to do and may not be able to do, what the board may or the association may be able to restrict or not restrict.
John, could you talk a little bit about the legality of cameras and surveillance?
In my conversation that I've had with our attorney, which has just accumulated 2 seconds before I walked in here because they weren't available, and I apologize for not getting back to you, but I just did find out. Michelle Rowe, our attorney, stated that privacy issues are verboten as far as direct access to unit owner's privacy. In other words, if cameras were pointed into someone's living room, bedroom, facility, any unit at all, that's not legal. It is not prohibited to have still cameras pointed at common areas because common areas are not considered private and can be done. Simple as that. The association can, if it wishes, to proclamate rules that may prohibit it if there's a concern of over or nuisance or concern of neighboring owners. So the association has a right to research and put out rules. Right now, as I see it, from what I'm getting from our attorney, the current camera system, say in any unit, this particular unit is allowable.
All right, but isn't there a law in Florida, state law, that both parties need to be aware of the recording, the person doing the recording and the person who is being recorded? That's why we have signs as you're coming into Wildwood Springs, you are being recorded.
I think that we would, and this is what Michelle was talking about. The condominiums have a little bit different scope than maybe the general public. We all have to operate within our rules, i.e. it's strange, but if a condominium doesn't have late fees associated with people paying late written in the documents, you can't collect it. If the association doesn't have the written in the document background check before you sell, you can't do it. So what happens is probably what has to be done is the attorney look at our documents to see how it conforms to the rule you're talking or the statute you're talking about. And then they would either amend the documents to coincide with it, or you would have a situation where you were prohibited from doing it. Don't know. So she's saying that number one, documents have to be renewed, and number two, you probably could set up a set of rules from that. But it's very doubtful that you'll have a problem stopping the filming of common areas because they're common areas.
Okay, let me ask you this then. How did we get the no drone rule passed?
That's a good question. It came out that it said at that time, they asked us, the state gave us the ability. The state gave us the state gave us the ability to choose whether we wanted it or not.
Well, drones look at more than common areas. They can look into people's courtyards and everything else. They can actually scoop down and look in your windows. So that's why there's no.
Okay, then why?
There's also a bigger nuisance with the noise and stuff with drones too.
And a safety.
Yeah.
Why then, when somebody had a trail camera up to look for coyotes, was that trail camera confiscated? Who said they weren't allowed?
You don't know who did that.
Well,
I
it did. It
That
happened.
should have never happened.
That should not have happened. That should be allowed.
It did.
Okay, well, then we can if they need to be put up again, we should put them up. And I'm not disagreeing with your point at all, Pam. It's just that's the scope I got from Michelle after we talked.
Well, my statement is going to be that people are uncomfortable when they feel that they're being monitored 24/7. Regardless of where the monitoring is occurring, whether it's here on property or from afar.
Are you
People
gonna
don't like
keep me from looking at that ring?
John, excuse me,
No.
people don't like being monitored.
How do you
They're-
define?
John, let her finish, please.
Yeah, but how do you define?
People do not,
Let me ask questions till they finish their thought.
People do-
That's okay, but we have.
people do not want to have every movement monitored. It's not neighborly. We have a nice community. I'm not gonna video record my neighbor so I can tattle on them. But that's what's happening.
But that's different.
Yes,
That's what's happening.
totally.
But that's different.
But then what's the difference?
I have a
Explain.
camera,
Mhm.
I have a doorbell camera, and it
I do
also,
too.
it also can see you as you walk past,
I do
depending
too.
on the angle of that camera. So you're being monitored if you walk past my unit.
Exactly.
I have a camera outside that monitors the parking lot. My vehicle sits right in front of my unit. It monitors my vehicle, and it's for the protection of that and my property. And I'm not tattletaling on anybody. I'm just,
Well,
I don't post that stuff. That's for my personal.
it,
I'm not spying on you.
it lends to the impression that it's voyeurism. It's a threat. People don't like it at all.
So why allow doorbells?
Well, I can only see.
I can still monitor, I can still record you, I can take those videos, I can
But are
post
you?
those on Facebook. I
But
can
are
do-
you?
No, I'm not.
Okay, well then it should.
But my camera, I'm not either.
Okay, well, then that needs to stop. That absolutely. needs
I
to stop.
seriously disagree.
What, sharing it with everybody?
No, but
Well,
I have a camera.
No, I'm saying, but you're not sharing that information every time. you
I've never
find
shared
something
that
you
with
don't like.
What could they possibly share that I can't see out that window?
It's invasive.
How? We got the windows up, so I can't look out.
What?
I can't right now because they're all taped up.
I understand the concern in regards to
Tom,
privacy.
would you like somebody to take a picture of you or a video of you every time you're walking your dogs?
You look out the door and
Walk
walk
another way,
Huh?
walk another way.
and you
We
live
have
in
a
a
big
community. Yeah, community,
But-
20 feet from your nearest neighbor.
It's an issue of neighborly. Being a neighborly,
I don't know how we can stop.
being willing to be nice to your neighbors, instead of being
But again,
nice.
there's no difference between that and your doorbell camera. They're the same.
Sorry.
Very much so.
They're just
I mean, I've
cameras.
looked at the camera, videos that he shared has been strictly with board members, the office, John, me. They've only been sent when there is a code or a rule violation in this community. And they're all legit. If you're gonna break the rules,
So do
don't
you,
break the rules.
do you enjoy getting all of these?
Sometimes I don't, but the ones I've gotten have been of people breaking our rules, period. End of conversation. The rules quit being broken. Those won't be shared with anybody. It'll be like his doorbell ringer.
But
The other thing I
Right?
that's his privacy
Okay,
though.
very much.
The doorbell is for your privacy, it's for your lanai. If anyone comes to your store, anyone drops a package, it's strictly for that.
All right, let's let Mr. Tom, go ahead.
I just want to report that there was a drone flying over pool 6 on Sunday morning at 11 o'clock.
Okay, and that's probably from outside the community.
I
Okay,
assume so.
thank you, Tom. The other Tom.
Good morning. And I'm even more concerned after hearing about people coming on to our campus here, doing things by the pool. I've got one camera that looks in 2 ways. And the one look, and they're inside my house, and I can look out my shutters and see who comes to my front door. And I can also see my stairway, and it includes an area, common area. Now, I don't want to be a policeman. I don't want to turn people in. I called Pam. I said, Pam, tell Becky and Deborah to please leash their dogs because I don't want to turn them in.
And I do that, and
And they came to my unit, and I got it on my camera, pounding on the front door, ringing the doorbell several times. They opened my hurricane shutters and looked into my daughter's bedroom. And then they went down the stairs and they said, if you don't like it here, move out. And it was loud when they did that. No, not well. And my whole problem is, I really like my neighbors a lot. I don't want to turn them in. You don't want to be a policeman. This is no fun. This is no fun. But having 7 dogs run by, barking at each other like we're in a dog park. And you mentioned that you'd like a dog park too, but they make it a dog park. We've got little children there who are coming in and out. Number one, it's a big problem for us. But it's a big problem for me because the declarations that say no one leaves pets, that's my contract with the HOA. It's my contract with each other. If they don't comply with it. And I've been asking Patty, wonderful woman. I said, Patty, these dogs came up snarling and when my daughter was walking my dog, snarling, and it was so uncomfortable. I ran downstairs and picked them up. So I called Patty. I said, talk to them. She talked to them. And it worked for a little while. Now we're back to the same. So I don't want to turn anybody on. The only people I share my videos with is the HOA because we have a problem. I don't want to live in a dog park. And so I'm not just turning people in because they're doing this or that. These are serious rule violations. And if a dog hurts the kid, knocks him over, happens to be excited and injures them in some other way, who knows? They weren't nice dogs to my dog. And so I understand what John said, and I appreciate it. And appreciate the discussion today. But we don't see anything but common area. And if say, I saw a neighbor's dog defecate, he walked away from it. That's another big problem here.
To that neighbor without being confrontational.
We have spoken.
Without being
We
confrontational.
have spoken, Pam. I wasn't confrontational with you.
When there was no
I
reason to be.
explained to you.
And
then you know what they did? They came over and pounded on my door.
Well,
And said, if you don't make it here, we'll not. They just want the rules to be enforced. So thank you so much. I think the complaint that I resolved regarding my shutters is resolved. And I will keep my eye open for rules about this. And I don't want to be the one to complain. If there's a director living in our pot who sees it, he should not just pet the dog like it's okay. He should say, these dogs need to be leashed. Thank you.
I think that it's pretty clear that looking in your shutters was way, way, way beyond decency. However, I also think that maintaining a sense of community is important. And if that means that sometimes rules don't get absolutely enforced, and if there's no danger, then I don't understand
You
that.
can't make an exception for one.
We have made
and
exceptions
not.
before.
Should I go around and
bigger.
measure people's patios that have been allowed?
How about the
Should I
flags that
do
are
that?
still up? How about all the things, certain people seem to be able to do certain things and others don't. So if we're going to enforce, let's enforce. I made this comment just the last meeting. Let's enforce across the board. We cannot pick and choose what we're enforcing.
Let's enforce.
Okay.
I don't think we've ever said don't enforce the rules. I think they were addressing the illegal patios.
Well, they're still there.
Follow up needs to be shown.
There's a couple of.
Not the one that I'm concerned with.
But I
Well,
think
it
being
sounds like-
neighborly works both ways and you can at least come to being civil. Then, that's a story.
What I hear here is neighbors that have neighbor issues, but not being neighborly, and you say to be neighborly. And that's because you got caught.
I didn't get caught at anything.
Somebody did. The point is not, we live in a community and we're never going to have the privacy you would have.
And that's
if we were
correct.
sitting in a house.
And we're never going to have the quietness you might have at your own home.
That's
We're
true.
never going to have the nobody around you
Absolutely.
like you would in your own home.
Right.
There are certain things that you have to adjust to when you move into a condominium.
Excellent.
And I've always had my own home, my own private home before. I love it here because it's a community.
Beautiful.
People
We
are
make
good to each
compromises
other.
all.
They're kind to each other. And then something upsets the pot. And it's upsetting enough that one family already moved. So,
Okay.
The only way to cure a problem is to prevent it in the first place.
Yeah.
Okay, so what has to happen for this to never occur again? What's the scenario? What's the
Dogs need to
scenario?
be leashed.
Okay, there's one. Dogs need to be leashed.
And
Hang up
If
after your
a
dog.
board member sees the dog on leash, right, but you say you should leash your dog.
But if they're leashed, that's not gonna happen, so,
Oh,
okay,
yeah, but if they're leashed, then there's no problem.
Yeah.
But if they're unleashed, they shouldn't pet the dog and pretend like
Okay.
it's all over.
that's the right protocol, okay? What else? Now, after that, if that happens, we're all good?
Yeah.
If that happens, we're all good, right?
Yes, and we have tried to enforce that several times. Patty and I.
And what part of
It's
it?
not working,
Okay.
Okay, so there's,
or it works occasionally.
and it being the dog's not being leashed, that's
The
the,
letters have been sent.
That's right.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
There has been sent. If there's another issue, there would be $100 fine.
so basically, everything is in place, and in theory, the problem should be solved.
Well,
As long as people follow the rules, if they don't follow the rules, that's a difference, that's the rule breakers, we'll go from there.
And we ought to deal with that at the level of abortion. You know, how do we deal with breaking the leash law rule?
Well, I
Okay.
think he just said there's, it's
John
a
writes
learning
a letter.
process.
They're warned verbally. If it happens again, we send a letter to them. After that, they know that they're gonna get fined if it happens a third.
So they're at the letter
They're still
stage.
moving.
letters
Yeah,
were
they're at the
sent.
letter stage.
Okay, so if that happens again, then they're gonna get fined.
Right.
Okay, we're doing all we can
That's the
do.
rule process.
That's what the bylaw says. So,
Steve, going back on the cameras, since this issue came up, the emails that were going around with the cameras, I've been noticing, I walk every day. There's a lot more cameras here than you would ever realize.
okay.
I mean, many units have cameras, and I'm not talking doorbell, I'm talking about security cameras. So there's a bunch out.
So there's a lot of promotion on social media with the pop-up ads about criminals, whatever, ripping off the door
Yeah.
things. So the thing to do now is to put up a camera inside your window looking out, right? Which it sounds like that you guys have, ironically, right? Because if
They see the
wanna get
ring
your
camera,
stuff,
they don't
rip off the
go
ring.
snatch it.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
And it has to do with Amazon packages and the whole bit.
That's what's in it.
Finish.
Got a couple of other things,
Okay.
especially security. Those of you who may have remembered about 2 years ago, we had an individual visit our property on a regular basis, exposing himself
Yep.
and doing very many things. The Department of Corrections has just notified us that he's now been released from jail and probably will be moving back to where he was. So just a word to the wise, hopefully he's learned his lesson and won't come on the property anymore, but he's back out of jail.
And I had an occasion on Saturday, I was walking Max. I was walking both dogs actually, and we hadn't even gotten to the stop sign down by us. And I saw this gray car come from Cortez, speeding, turned into Spring Lakes across the road, squealing tires, went around. Not 2 seconds later, a car came from the other direction. It was a tan older model sedan. Went almost past Spring Lakes and then realized, no, this guy. So he went into Spring Lakes again at a high speed and came around. And I just stood there with the dogs like, what a jerk. And then I said, jerks. And then the gray car came flying out of Spring Lakes. He had his window down and he yelled to me, help, he's trying to kill me. And the other car followed him, and I heard them, they went towards Cortez, and I heard the squealing tires on Cortez and horns honking. So I called Jim, and he found them on camera. On the Cortez camera, he found the gray car coming in and both cars leaving, but they were going so fast both times that he couldn't get the plate number. He did call it into the sheriff department. So, and if they need anything, Jim does have that information on the cameras, but I said, that was kind of weird that, help, I'm being, he wants to kill me.
Maybe one of the
More than-
provinces has been taking care of that.
Well, I got a big FU one day when they were speeding through, thinking Woodlawn was an outlet.
That was you saying it or them?
Them.
was
Same thing, I'm just like, and they're like, yeah, as he's driving by. There's so
Yeah.
Finger.
Steve, I also have one more. We have an owner here, Margot from the 500s, and has a request to the board to consider
I'm teaching a mosaic class. We have this nice little room. I've been teaching a mosaic class at the folk school at the Maritime Museum for the last 3 years. And usually I charge $45 for the folk, since I'm in the community and I live at 555 Lakeside Drive. I wanted to do it for $35. Brought a couple examples of the mosaics. I provide the cradle board, and then I provide the tile and the grout and the glue, and show you how to design it and finish it up. So I didn't know if it's something that you guys were interested in. So
Did you want to do it here? Is that?
yeah, I'd love to do it in this room with tablecloths on the table. I mean, we could do it outside, but it would be better being in air conditioned. And it takes 2 hours to do. You design it and glue it and put it together. I also do acrylic pours, which I've done with Tammy. That, you know, these are pretty easy. You just squirt the paint on it. And I just thought there's so many people in here, and I don't know why there isn't art classes offered in here. So since I'm
We could consider that.
I just, you know, if you did something you wanted, I didn't know whether, you know, you would collect the money here or pay me directly. I do have a Square account, you know, so I could take the money or.
Yeah, well,
Whatever.
I don't think we want to be involved in taking money, but it would have to be during the day, during office hours, when you know, the staff's here.
Yeah, no, anytime's fine. I have a class I'm teaching in October and one in February, so I'm wide open the rest of the time. I was gonna go to different condos and see if they were interested, but I thought I'd start here.
Who's our entertainment director?
Cynthia, she'll be here the end of the month.
Okay.
But I mean,
No.
if it's like once a month, do you do like once a month or once every couple months? What's your schedule on doing it?
I just do it randomly.
Oh, okay.
You know, I don't know if you guys want any information.
So I don't know how that would work with it. She would just need to find out if the room is available.
well,
Yeah.
yeah, the room is booked, but not regularly by any means. The season coming up, there'll be Mahjong again on Fridays or Wednesdays,
Bridge.
and probably bridge on Friday. Other than that, we're pretty wide open, other than.
Except for these.
Can I just raise one thing that just want to make sure we don't have an issue, is that using association property to earn money privately. Like, now, even though it would be open to anybody who lives in the association. What, is there anything that prevents that?
Pay tennis on the courts and allow that, so.
Oh,
Could call it a donation. Yeah, you could call it a donation because you're supplying the materials.
That's what, thank you.
Are you talking about doing this one time every week?
No, whenever. I mean, I teach at the Maritime Museum. It's a 2-hour class.
So you're talking about a class of 2 hours once,
Right. And then if.
and then if it's popular, you would do it again. Okay.
And you would ask for donations of.
I guess. I don't know where
That would
it's
be the
fine.
way.
might have to be.
I just need to be around.
raised or strictly paying for materials. Or. I don't know, I think that. I don't know,
Well, I think that would be.
something we should think about, yeah, for the next, that we need to vote on. that.
Well, I think you put it on the agenda to
Yeah,
discussion for Monday.
well, we need to find out if it affects any of our status.
Exactly,
Effect.
yeah.
I've never had to raise the issue, so I don't know what our status act, we're nonprofit or whatever.
I hate to say ask our attorney,
about
but maybe it's something we should ask our attorney.
We're not regulating the bets on the pickleball courts.
Yeah, but they're all losers.
I don't
Yeah,
care.
it would have to be pretty careful
Yeah.
way, right?
I-
Ask for a donation for the materials that you're supplying.
Okay, well, that's.
We would not ask for a receipt, however.
Yes.
For the donors.
Cause I thought that there was classes in the past in here. Is that not correct?
They were free.
There have been classes before.
You mean like crafty
Mhm.
stuff? I don't know.
Oh my God.
They have been, for the years, they've been occasional. We had who was it? Gina was doing bracelets for a while. I mean, it has, there has, let's
Just
put
like
that, there is a
the way you
precedent.
word it. When you stick out on a plaque,
Oh, so material.
only $35, for this class, just donation for,
$35 donation for materials.
Well, I mean, you can't call it a donation, it's a material fee,
Well,
right?
why should she have to pay for the?
questions you're not there for materials. We'll,
You let me,
Discuss it.
I'd be happy to teach it. I think it's a good idea.
The snowbirds aren't here yet, but I can pretty well assure you that there will be some interest involved.
very much. So.
Yeah, I usually get 10 to 14 people signed up at the folks at the Maritime Museums.
I think it's cool. Is that here in Cortez?
Yeah.
Yeah, the museum's closed right now, but they have the folks go outside out back.
Yeah.
On the picnic tables.
Still closed.
Okay.
No, they're never gonna open again.
Use it. Been on the agenda. Good to hear. Alright. Director's comments?
I'd like to say, I think the sense of community here is wonderful and invaluable. Can't buy that. So that it behooves us to do all we can to maintain a sense of community that is hospitable to everyone. If that means obeying the law, that's fine. But there's something beyond the law. And that is how we treat each other. It's also true that we are a condominium of what, 9 clusters, 8 clusters, so that each cluster has its own sense of community.
Yeah, 25 clusters, 7 villages.
So
58 years.
how many villages do you have?
7.
7 villages.
Each village has its own sense of community, I think.
But the clusters are more
Right.
community oriented.
So I'd hate to see us surrender to a society that has to obey the law in every particular. If that makes me jail-worthy, so be it.
I know. I totally agree with you, Shannon. I think the most important part of this whole process here, number one, I apologize to you, Pam, but that we sit down and discuss it just like we have here, because I think we've come up with a semi-solution, and we've also come up with opening up that which is concerning some of the neighbors. It has nothing to do with the issue of somebody being not private. It's the fact that it is being done and it seems to be documented and all kinds of scare tactics. Since we can sit down and talk about it, I think we can, as you talked about, come up with a solution that can be at least acceptable by a group. I think that's the most important thing we can do, rather than going on two sides and battling over who's going to be right and wrong. So, Pam, I'm glad you did, sir, great job putting out your statement, and I think our conversation was good. I feel different about the whole situation now than I did when I came in this morning. Thank you. Leslie.
Well, I just wanted to say that when you move into a condominium association, you are bound by the rules of our documents. So it's not, it's just something we all have to abide by. Keeping our dogs on leashes whatsoever. So that's just one of the things you have to do if you live here. So it isn't, it's just one of the things, one of the maybe you call it a minus, I call it a plus. I really like it when I see dogs on leashes because I know they're gonna be contained. But this is not a terrible law that we're being asked to abide by. It's reasonable. And when you sign up here, you sign up for all the rules and regulations we have.
And enforce them across the board.
Exactly.
Yes.
Let me make one comment that come to my attention, because I've been around the block a few times. We do not have a welcoming packet when somebody moves in. Where I will.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
Who, okay, I've never received one, I moved twice, okay, and the other thing is, that's usually a responsibility of the cluster advisor, right?
No,
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 no.
the office.
The office?
The office interviews, the office tenders the packet and everything.
Well, I was just envisioning that, I move in, whatever, and I meet the cluster advisor, she gives me the welcome packet, and you have a little get together, we have one like every month, for example. We don't, but I mean, we do.
You can modify it in some way if you want to. I mean, presently,
We get to know people at the front end instead of the back end. So I was just word of mouth and this and that, who moved there, whatever. If we do have a welcoming packet, I think I could have it delivered by the local cluster advisor.
the reason that
Make the
the
contact.
reason it went into the internally into what we were doing in the office here is that if advisors change, advisors go up north in the summertime, and the only constant was the office to make sure that you got the proper packet and at least, we try to do the interview with the rules and everything else. So, but if you want to modify it, you certainly have the right to do it.
But isn't that true of every HOA?
But Steve, we have a lot of clusters that don't have advisors right now.
I know, Karen usually sits here and she's working on that. She's working on that, and
So you're sitting there.
her,
Well,
yeah, and her
thing is,
and her whole idea is to get people together, and.
do it yourself. Well, she
No, he can do it for his own cluster.
you know what?
I know.
My cluster.
We have some communities that have a lot of us to get together with whatever, some don't.
He really wants to work with me when we get that one. Love to do that stuff, but I've been doing, about this seller.
Well, anyway,
So.
One of the things we might be able to do, John, is if the cluster advisor / representative is here, is to have them sit in when you meet with new
Oh, it's a good idea.
residents. So, I mean, they get to meet somebody else. And you start the journey together.
Well, yeah, at least then they'll know somebody in their
Yeah.
cluster, right?
it's a great warm up plus. I mean, it is. You find out that somebody's from same state as you are and that kind of thing, or the area, or they visit some area. I mean, it's a great warm up plus.
And for those clusters, and for those clusters that don't have advisors, maybe one of the board members from that village would suffice. Shannon, you'd be one.
I sit in slot.
Yeah, Steve.
I pay my wife.
Steve's always at the office, so he always is. So.
But it would be nice for somebody from your village or your cluster to welcome.
I'm just chopped liver. All right.
Just a-
Director's comments? Tiffany, you. Steve, you are.
Made mine.
Yeah. Tammy?
Oh, you've heard from me enough.
Yeah.
And me as well.
Yeah. I'm gonna constrain myself. Me too. Barb.
Newsletter is coming out today.
Okay.
We made $560 in ads, which I turned over to John for a deposit.
Good.
I just have to fix page 1 now for the phone numbers.
What has come out being, how are we distributing?
So there is an email blast that goes out and it'll have a clickable link right to the website. So David will post it to the website as well.
Okay.
So there'll be a website announcement, an email blast, and then The office can start printing out hard copies, but they take their time with
Yeah.
that, because they don't kill the copy machine. But they have
We
the
usually put
paper.
a few out there at a time.
And by the way, newsletter goes in every welcome package. So, and one thing we did this time is we created a whole column just for links to all the association documents. So if they don't get the document in their welcome package, there's a link you can, if you bring the newsletter up online, you can click on any of the clickable links and bring you right to the document. We put in links to the pergolas, to the front courtyard, the rear courtyard, the second floor flooring, landscape guidelines or forms to fill out, all kinds of stuff.
Dog leashes,
Pardon?
dog leases.
That's it, yes, rules and regulation, rules and restrictions, that's a link in there, I guess. Yeah, so-
Great job. I've read it, I've looked at it. Everybody
She
should.
didn't have you
enjoy it.
edit it, did she?
No,
Oh,
I hadn't read it.
Okay.
No, but I do have to thank all the editors that I do have, they're wonderful. What's trying, really good group.
I guess.
I have a question. Is the irrigation system on?
Yes,
All of it?
supposedly, yes, the answer should be yes.
Okay.
Okay, do you have an issue with an area where?
I haven't seen it in the front of our cluster running, and within the cluster.
All right,
We're
I'll talk that.
Yeah.
I did for my neighbors behind me, they come in November, it comes like once a year now. But they look, grass look really dry back there, so I just put in a ticket to have them check the sprinklers back there.
Yeah, I'll have Ed take a look.
Meeting is where? Next week.
The meeting is at the church, the
The old church.
original one.
Oh, yes,
Yes.
we converted.
See, right in front of you, it says manual.
Right in front of you.
Well, I'm glad you all said that.
Okay, that's what's.
Well, I didn't read that.
One at-
That
Maybe
is
we
their
take them.
The one at
interpretation.
We have to, yeah,
That's it.
Roger's unable to help us coordinate church anymore, so. And so that's why we moved back.
Hey, Roger.
Hi, Raj.
53rd and Cortez.
51st in court.
51st, that's right.
As you said.
Yes, you're gonna.
It's supporters comments. I don't see anything on here about termite.
Oh, yes.
On unit 733.
It will be put on. Okay, it will be put on.
Any idea when it's gonna get taken care of?
Probably, within 10 days, but, it'll be on.
Okay.
Yeah,
It was gonna be under general, if you'd like under specific, I'll do that. Okay, I always have under manager report general, that's where it's gonna go.
Okay.
Yeah, Good point, okay.
So we already did this.
Yeah.
Okay. No.
Well, what about the decks, that needs to be.
Yeah, the actual will be this week for you.
Yeah, but today I saw somebody at 763, which they said that doesn't need any repair, and I came out and I said, it's mine, 759, that needs repair. So
We left the contract and as I said, he will be there this week, for sure. I'm meeting with him in the morning. Yes.
Steve, you said Monday,
Steve.
it's when.
No, I-
This when it opens.
I-
We've got-
You will be this week, I give you.
All right, Les, just a minute.
Okay.
Hang on.
759 Oakview Drive.
Yes,
Will be
yes.
this week.
This week, absolutely, absolutely. And maybe I
Is it on the
misunderstood you.
list or?
Yes,
Right there, they said my address is not on the list.
I don't know who you talked to, but your address is
Yeah.
on the list. Trust me,
759.
yes, yes.
Okay, everybody. Okay.
Can I ask a question?
Seriously.
I know we have our bug person come in every couple of months. And because I've got camera monitoring, I know he wasn't there the last time. And so they skipped a month and I don't know why. But I just wanted to let you guys know, and I think today's the bug day again.
Don't forget, it's every other.
Yeah, every 2 months.
Yeah, so
Well,
it's.
this month could have been outside.
Well, if they come
Oh, just
inside, they
outside?
leave us.
Yeah, every other month they do inside.
Yeah, but they didn't come in every other month. They didn't come in.
We'll keep going.
Check on it.
I just thought I would let you.
Absolutely.
You know, most associate, this probably is important to anybody to hear because they're used to it, but most associations don't have internal anymore. It's all done on the exterior, and if there's an issue, then they go inside. And it's worked, you know, when it was sold 8 or 9 years ago, I wondered, but it is, like, there's no reason why we don't continue what we do here every other month inside.
Well, since the
But
term,
the main protection is at the base of the buildings and the outside.
I wanna know what those little those caterpillars are.
Oh,
that grow up
yes.
with-
Yeah, Laura.
Millipedes.
Millipedes, yep.
I had one jump on my head. I must have fell on last night. I just hit me in the shoulder here.
I have
Nick wants to get it.
Count them every day.
over the last 2 years, I've cleared out hundreds of my lanai. They're every morning. They're there.
They're there.
Front door.
We're eating for
Get your blower or use your broom.
But John, let me ask you a question.
Yes, you-
Is that a consideration to
towel.
eliminate
Go up
indoor,
and throw 'em in the
but
garbage.
just do it as
Let
needed?
them put 'em in the
Would that save
Well,
contract money?
That's what, that would, yeah, that saves contract money usually, but, the contract that we got 4 or 5 years ago is so much in our favor, I wouldn't wanna mess
Yeah.
that right now, and they haven't raised.
And then the other
Yeah.
thing I'm thinking is like if you're snowbirds, basically. So if you're not here, then no, you know, I don't know if you're getting regular condo checking, but the bug man comes and kind of preempts taking the bugs.
Yeah.
Yeah, as opposed to who would call on the as needed basis, you know, because they're not here.
Well, that's part, you know, if they weren't here, I'm just saying what's out there.
Yeah, we usually have.
Okay.
I'm not saying we should
Somebody
change.
says they've missed.
No, I'm
it.
just
Chair,
trying to
you
like, what's both sides of the coin there, you know, and the pros to keeping it. Leslie is.
Leslie, get some else?
No, they do it.
I just wanna thank the building committee and John for the wonderful job of, that has gone on in my courtyard wall. We're just waiting for the
Oh,
paint
right.
and the
Courtyard wall.
finishing.
Well, good, we don't want.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, but I don't wanna go your machine.
Good.
I'm just wondering, I know I'm concerned like Tammy is over the security of the pools. Would we be within our rights to put a couple of strands of barbed wire around the top of our fences?
Razor wire.
No.
Yeah, but,
But not like us.
code enforce, no,
Insurance would not accept
No,
it.
we're not allowed to do that, John?
no, beautiful.
Sparrows won't like it either, but we did discuss it.
Okay.
Yeah, it was
I
a good thought, though, seriously, but, yeah.
All right, and I apologize that I can no longer do the church.
Oh,
I'm just
that's okay.
not able to do that, and I'm sorry about that. And of course,
Just take care of yourself, Roger.
if there's no
That's right.
member there, they won't let anybody else use the building.
Just
Just take care of yourself.
Just be well.
I'm
Be safe.
working on it. I'm working
Okay.
on it.
All
We
right,
miss
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
nothing else, we're done.
Dates for the next meeting?
To Monday.
I think we got it.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
It's ready.
See you all on Monday.
At the Emmanuel Church.
Emmanuel
Church. Emmanuel Church.
51st.
Because we can.
Yes. Like you know, I was canceled about it.
Yeah, Emmanuel.
Yeah, we gotta go up to the church.
We get wrapped up.
Bye, Leslie.
Yes, right, but, yeah, that's about how it is.
It says in our bags.